Let me just do this quickly. Let me line up your question with mine and hopefully get Honorable Abubakar to respond to those questions. So on the one hand, he's asking about your feelings, personal feelings about Twitter being suspended in Nigeria. And let me just add this to it. The question about whether or not this should have been open to a debate on the floor of the House, so you have a more robust decision, as it were. And also add to that, when you said that, I mean, you wanted to find out the rationale behind the federal government's decision before you now make your own decision. I recall May, just last month, you ordered NERC to suspend the proposed tariff hike by discos. And what you did was swing into action and ask for a suspension, not say, you know, let's understand the rationale behind, you know, the discos and the rest wanting to increase the tariff. So looking at these two issues, because both of them concern Nigerians, really, and you know how electricity tariff issues have been in recent times. So why the different standards, so to speak, in approaching these issues? One, you want to find out the rationale, the other, you swing into action immediately.
Well, let me first quickly start by the question my colleague raised, and then you join it with your own. My own personal feeling on banning on this Twitter by the Nigerian government, given the situation and the scenario, I actually support it 100%. And then because they have the constitutional right to do that, we knew what happened when Capitol was attacked in the US. There are several other countries. In fact, there is an African country that even suspended all the social media until they finish their election. So when the security of the country is being breached, those people that they are using Twitter for either trading or whatever, if war broke, where will you have time to do your marketing? So we are trying to be proactive. So I think it is better for you to wait for 10 days to put things into perspective than to allow Twitter freely. We had people who made statements more than what the president of this country has done, has said. All he said is calling them to order, but if they refuse, they will be met with the equal measure. What is wrong there that Twitter remove it? Whereas I don't want to bedevil the polity with whatever there. All this is on social media, what other people were saying, and they were not born. Let me quickly interject that was it not just after the banning, Twitter now deleted Nnamdi Kanu's statement on Twitter. So, and yesterday I watched on another TVC, this journalist hung out. It was discussed openly that yes, they are talking behind though, that Twitter have realized their mistakes. As we don't base issues on sentiment. So it is for the government too, and they have the constitutional right to do that. I remember Daniel Bwala on this channel has reeled out reasons, giving his own constitutionality and the legality of the action of the federal government. So to me, personally, I saw it that we need to preserve the nation first. You have to be alive to talk of marketing, whatever. So the countries are the brims, and we believe Twitter has really collaborated in extending that. So for us to take a little time, Twitter has been existing for time, how many years now? So for us to do that, so that we can create an enabling environment for either the young ones and everybody to use Twitter freely, I think is better. And that suspension has started yielding fruit. If you are following international, they were talking behind the scene. Yesterday, I watched a TVC journalist hang out, and that is what they reel out, that in fact themselves, the banning has yielded result. So to me, we have no regret whatsoever. That is one. Secondly, the issue of the discourse, increasing tariff, and this one, this issue of a Twitter is a novel issue. We have never handled a situation like that. It's very novel. And then with its own nobility, you have to study so that you come out of it clean. So that's the difference. That issue of disco increasing tariff has been there from time, for quite some time now, so we knew about it. So we knew the impact. There were several motions on the floor of the House regarding tariff, even this suspension and what have you. So it is an issue that is germane and not novel. We are used to it, so we can take prompt action. But the issue of the Twitter, you will agree with me that it's novel. Because of its nobility, it's just a new something we are approaching for the first time. That is what happened with the different stroke to this scenario.